Hello, my name is Danielle Lemus, and I would like to talk to you about being self-aware. Are you familiar with what that means? Have you ever heard of being self-aware? Well, to be aware means to pay attention. Pay attention to your surroundings, pay attention to who's around you. When you are about to cross the street, what do? You pay attention. You look both ways. You look to the right, you look to the left, you make sure there's no cars coming, and then you cross the street. That's being aware of your surroundings. Well, talking about self-aware or self-awareness, we're talking about noticing and paying attention to what's going on with you. Noticing your emotions and paying attention to your emotions. Paying attention to your behavior. Paying attention to what you're thinking and the thoughts that you are having. So that's what I would like to talk with you today about, paying attention to you, to who you are. And first I want to start with paying attention to your emotions. We all know what emotions are, right? Happy, sad, joyful. You know, there's this movie that my kids love, and the main character of that movie was supposed to be meh, whatever. But he was more than just meh, wasn't he? He could do all kinds of emotions. He could be happy, he can be excited, he can be sad, and he could even dance. How many of you seen that movie? Do you remember? Do you know who I'm talking about? Do you remember what it was like for him his first day on the phone? Can you imagine what he was going through and how he was feeling? Here we are, a character that's supposed to be meh all the time. He's supposed to be meh, whatever, with everything. No, whether if someone won money or someone gave him a present, his response was supposed to be meh, whatever. But his first time on the phone, he became nervous and he panicked. And do you know what happened next? Oh my goodness. He became so many emotions that he literally almost blew up the phone. And then now we have the adventure of the Emoji Movie. Now, as I'm thinking about that movie, do you remember what his name was? Was it Harry? No. Frank? No, that's not it. You have to tell me. What was his name? Gene. That's right. His name was Gene. So here we have Gene. Okay? He's supposed to be what? Meh. Whatever. How many of you are meh. Whatever? I can assure you that you're not meh. Whatever all the time. You have other emotions. But with this movie, they expected him to be meh all the time. And he had other emotions. And the problem with Gene was he could not suppress all of those emotions. So I want to encourage you to not suppress your emotions. If you're feeling happy, then express it. Smile and dance and give your mom or your dad a hug, or give your friends a high five. If you're feeling sad, express that as well. Let someone know that you're feeling sad. Share why you're feeling sad. And if you are not sure of those feelings or why you're sad, talk to someone anyway and just say, hey, there's something going on with my emotions right now. I'm not happy, I'm not sad, but I'm not myself. And I assure you, when you do that, they will help you work through those emotions and help you to feel better. So I want you to pay attention to your emotions. I don't want you to suppress them. I don't want you to feel like you have to hide them, because you don't. Know when you are in each different emotion and how you behave and how you react in those emotions. For an example, have you ever been really, really angry? Really, really mad or upset? What do you do? How do you behave? Do you stomp around the house when you're mad or angry? Do you slam doors? Do you bang on the desks or bang on the walls? What do you say when you're angry, when you're mad? Do you say hurtful things to people when you're upset? I hope not. That wouldn't be nice if you did. We all get angry. Yes, we all get angry. But we have to be very careful of what we do and what we say when we are in that emotion of anger, because we don't want to do or say anything that we will regret later. And do you know what it means to regret something? That means you've said something or you did something, and then after the fact you're saying to yourself, I wish I never did that. I wish I never said that. And then you feel bad because you did. And you know, words hurt. Once they are spoken, you can't take those words back. So I encourage you, if you are angry, don't tell anyone, I hate you. That's not nice. Don't tell that to your mom or to your dad or to your brothers or to your sisters. Now, it is okay to say, I'm angry with you because you did this, that, or whatever to me. It's okay to say that, but don't be like, I hate you, I'll never want to talk to you again, I wish you were never here. Those you do not want to say. Those are the words you do not want to say when you're angry or when you're mad. And like I just mentioned, we all get angry. You know, there was this young girl back in high school. She was, I wouldn't say she was popular, but she had friends. You know, she was very social. She had her friends, and she rode the bus to school. She rode the bus to and from school. And this one particular afternoon, she and another girl, they had some kind of disagreement, or they didn't see things eye to eye on some particular subject. And the young girl was fine with that, you know. Hey, we don't agree, I'm fine with it. So she just went about her day. Well, the other girl, she became upset. She became angry. So on the bus ride home, the other girl sat in the back, and she just kept saying how mad she was with the young girl. And she kept saying that she wanted to fight the young girl, and she kept saying what she wanted to do with the young girl. Now, mind you, the young girl knew what she was saying, but she ignored her. She kept talking with her friends and kept having a conversation, laughing, and enjoying the bus ride home. They got to the bus stop, and all the kids get off at the bus stop, and they began to walk home. Well, the young girl started walking home, and she was with her friends, and she was engaged in conversation and laughing and joking. Then she noticed the other girl was following her home. Now, not only was this girl following her home, but she was gathering a crowd with her. So this young girl is walking home, and this other girl is following her, building a crowd of people, saying what she's going to do to this young girl, saying that she was going to beat her up and that she didn't like her, and all kinds of unnice things, we'll just put it that way. But the young girl just kept walking home. She kept talking to her friends and just ignored what was happening behind her. And suddenly she realized she was almost home, and this girl almost followed her to her house. So the young girl started to get mad. She wasn't talking anymore. She wasn't laughing anymore. She found herself getting really mad that this girl was following her home. And she just kept walking home, and the girl just kept talking, kept following. More and more people kept coming. And then the young girl saw her house. And as she got closer to her house, she became more angrier and angrier and angrier. And as she was about to walk on the front porch, another friend of the young girl's came running from a different direction than where the crowd was coming. and was like, "Hey, what's going on? Why is all these people here? Why are they following you?" Asking all these questions, all excited. And the young girl didn't look at her friend. She didn't say a word because she was too mad. She was too angry. She couldn't say anything. Her mouth was like it was just sealed shut. She couldn't say a word. She walked up on the front porch. She put down her book bag. She looked out of the corner of her eye and she saw a stick there. She grabbed the stick and she turned around and she swung it at the other girl. Now, thankfully, the friend that came from the other direction noticed what she was doing, and he grabbed her. And he grabbed her in such a way that she lost her balance. And when she swung the stick, she didn't hit the other girl, and she didn't hit anyone. Thankfully, no one was hit with the stick. But then she looked at her friend, and she threw the stick down. At that very moment, the young girl's mother came out of the house, wondering what's going on. Okay, all these people on her front porch, and her daughter is standing there huffing and puffing, and just, she could tell her daughter was really, 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 really upset. And everybody just started saying, everyone started talking at the same time, trying to tell the story, trying to tell what happened, calling the young girl crazy, and all kinds of things. And the young girl just looks at her mother. She grabs her book bag and she goes into the house. And she goes into the house, and she let her mom stay outside and disperse the crowd and send everybody on their way. And the mom comes back into the house. She finds her daughter in her bedroom, sitting on her bed. And her daughter is so upset. She is so angry. She's shaking. Tears are coming down from her eyes. And her mom looked at her and she asked her, "Are you okay?" The young girl was still so upset. She couldn't speak. Not at that moment. So her mom said to her, "Take a deep breath." So the young girl took a deep breath, Her mom said, "Take another one." So the young girl took another deep breath. She goes, now her mom was smart, okay? Her mom said, "I have something for you." And she reached from behind her and she had a Pepsi, which was at the time the young girl's favorite drink. So she gave it to her daughter, and her daughter took a sip. And then she began to tell her mom what happened. So her mom was able to calm her down. Her mom recognized that she was upset and she was angry. She was able to calm her down. And then she was able to share with her mom what happened. And they had a conversation. But her mom said something to her that stuck with her for the rest of her life. Her mom said to her, "Don't ever let people get you so upset, so angry, that you lose control or you lose a hold of yourself." And what she meant was, don't let anyone get you so angry, so upset that you begin to act out in that anger and you are unaware of what you are doing. See, the young girl didn't realize that she was so angry that she picked up that stick and she swung it at the other girl. She didn't realize it until after she had swung the stick. That's how angry she was. Thankfully, no one was hurt. There was no fight. And violence is never the answer. Fighting is never the answer. But with this young girl, she had never been that angry before. She had never experienced those emotions. So all of that was new to her. And it came so fast for her because at one moment she was happy. At one moment she was having fun with her friends and she had a good day in school. And just within that time span of walking home, she went from happy to sad to mad to angry. Can you imagine going through all those emotions in a time span of maybe 5-10 minutes, just rapidly increasing? It was very, very overwhelming for this young girl. And thankfully, she had her mother there to talk to her, and she was able to share with her mom what she felt and what was going on, and her mom was able to talk her through that. So I want to encourage you to be aware of your emotions. Even if you're happy and if you're sad, if you're mad, you're angry, talk to someone. Share those emotions and what you're feeling with someone. Don't feel like you have to hide them. That's not good. I mean, we saw in the movie Emotions, Gene, he couldn't hide it. That's why he got into so much trouble, and then they wanted to delete him from the phone. Did you see the movie? If you did not see the movie, I encourage you to watch the movie. He could not suppress all the other emotions that he could do. But the movie ends with a happy ending. At the end, they accepted him, and they accepted him with all his other emoji feelings, and he didn't have to be meh if he didn't want to. So if he wanted to be happy, he was happy. If he wanted to dance, he would dance. If he wanted to be surprised, he was surprised. So let's be like Gene and not suppress our emotions. Let's enjoy them and express them as we feel those emotions. And to let you know what happened with that young lady, she never again allowed herself to become that angry that she lost control of what she was doing, or she no longer became aware of how she was reacting out of that emotions. And I'm glad my mom was there during that time. Moms are great. So if you're sitting with your mom, give her a high five, give her a hug, give her a kiss. They're awesome. If you're sitting with your dad, do the same. Give him a high five. Okay, so we talked about being aware of our emotions. Let's talk about being aware of our behavior and how we behave and what we're doing. How well do you behave in school? Are you a good student? Are you a bad student? You know, no one can control your actions but you. So if you are in the classroom and you are tapping your desk with a pencil and your teacher said, "Who's doing that?" Or they ask who's doing it and they ask you to stop doing that. You can stop doing it because you are aware that you are the one that's making that noise. And out of respect for your teacher, and out of respect for your classmates, you'll stop doing that. So we have to be aware of our behavior, what we're doing, how we're behaving. Are you out, when you're out with your family, let's say you are out at a restaurant, do you have good table manners? Good question. I have you thinking, don't I? So yeah, just be aware of how you're behaving. I'm sure you're a good student. I'm sure you'll behave. And make sure you're behaving when you're out on the playgrounds. You know, you don't want to be hitting other students, and you don't want to be doing what you're not supposed to be doing. So be self-aware of how you behave around other people. And let's talk about what you're thinking when you're thinking it. What do you think about yourself? Do you think you're smart? Do you think that you're not so smart? Do you think that you're wonderful? You know, I have a 13-year-old son. He thinks he is awesome. I mean, he is awesome in everything. You say, "How you doing?" "Oh, I'm awesome." "Oh, Mom, I'm the best student in my class." He's always the best. But that's okay, because he's thinking positive about himself. And when you think positive about yourself, you act out those positive thoughts. So if you think that you're smart, then you will do smart things. You will get good grades in school. You will know what to say to the right people and what not to say to the right people. But when you think poorly of yourself, when you think negative of yourself, people see that. because you show that, you will reflect that. And when you think bad about yourself, usually someone who thinks poorly of themselves, they don't want to be around other people, they don't want to talk, they look really sad, and that's not good. That's not why you're here. So I want you to be aware of what you are thinking. I want you to analyze those thoughts. And what I mean by analyze those thoughts, if you think that you're not pretty, why? Do you think you're not pretty because you see someone else on TV? You should never compare yourself to someone else. You are wonderfully imperfect the way that you are. Do you think poorly about your hair? Oh my, you should not think poorly of your hair. I know sometimes hair can be, a little manageable. I got a hair right now that's just completely out of place, but it's okay. I'm not going to think poorly about myself, So you have to love yourself. You have to love who you are. And you have to embrace who you are. Embrace your differences. Embrace what you're good at. Are you aware of your strengths? Are you aware of what you're good at? For example, I'm aware of what I'm good at. I'm aware of what I'm not good at. One of the things that I'm not good at, I am not good at drawing. My children are. My mother is. But me personally, I cannot draw a stick figure if you were to ask me. And that's not surprising, but it's okay. I know that is something that I am not good at doing. But there are other things that I am good at doing. I'm good at taking care of my kids. You might say that's not anything worth being good at. Well, I'm proud of how I am with my kids, but I am good at talking with people, and I am good at a couple other things. So can you make a list of other things that you're good at? Can you come up with at least 5 things that you are good at? I know I have you thinking, but I'm encouraging you to be aware of you. Be aware of your strengths, because it makes a difference. As you get older, people will want to know, what are you good at? What can you do? What do you enjoy doing? So make a list. Make a list of at least 5 things that you are good at, and share it with your mom, or share it with your teacher, share it with your dad, share it with your brother or your sister. Let them know that you are good at these 5 things and you are proud of those things. So, what else can you be self-aware about? We talked about 1, being self-aware of your emotions. 2, be aware of your behavior, how you are behaving, even at home. You should be behaving in a very good manner, meaning you should do what your parents tell you to do. If it's time to sit down at a computer and do your work, then do your work. I know sometimes, my kids don't always want to go to school. They don't always want to do their homework, but they do it, and I encourage them. I try to make it fun for them. So be aware of your behavior. Be aware of what you're thinking about yourself. And also be aware of what you're thinking of others. Because if you are in your classroom and you're looking at a classmate of yours and you're thinking, that kid is dumb. If you think that of your classmate, guess what? You're going to treat him like he's dumb. And I'm sure that classmate is not going to want to be treated like he's dumb. So I want to encourage you to be mindful, not only to what you're thinking about yourself, but what you're also thinking about others, because the things that you are thinking, you begin to act them out in your body language. You begin to act them out in your words, your choice of words, and how you speak and how you relate to others. So you want to be careful of that. Don't think poorly of someone. And if there is someone that you're not a big fan of, still be nice to them. Don't be thinking why you do not like them. You're sitting there, I do not like her because she is mean, or She never says hello. She never passes me the ball when I ask her to pass me the ball. She is always talking in line and causing us to stay in line longer. Don't do that. Don't sit there and come up with a list of reasons of why you don't like someone, because again, like I said, you're going to start to act out that emotion towards them. So, have you learned something thus far? Well, there's one more thing I would like to talk to you about when it comes to self-awareness. I want to talk to you about fear. Back to emotions. Have you ever been afraid? How many raise your hand? Have your moment when you've been afraid? What did you do? Did you talk to someone? Did you tell someone that you were afraid? It's okay. Tell someone. Let them know that you are afraid. And let them know that what you're afraid of. You know, some people are afraid to stand up in front of the classroom and give a speech. Some people are afraid to raise their hand when their teacher asks a question and they may know the answer, but they're afraid to raise their hand. I want to encourage you, don't be afraid, especially if you're afraid that someone's going to laugh at you. Don't be afraid of that. Why? Because you're smart. You know the answer. Don't be afraid to tell the truth. Don't be afraid to give the correct answer. Don't be afraid to share your opinion. You know, if you are with your family or if you're in the classroom and you're having a discussion and you think differently, and you may say, well, Mrs. Teacher, I don't think that way. I think that we should do something else. It's okay. We all have an opinion, and there's no wrong or right opinion. It's your opinion. It's yours. You own it. It belongs to you. So you have a right to your opinion. And if someone doesn't agree, they don't agree. It's okay, you know? I have an opinion. You have an opinion. So let's talk about colors. And I may say, black is my favorite color. You may say, well, I don't agree. I think that red is the best color. So red is my favorite color. And I might say to you, red is a beautiful color. But my favorite color is black. Your favorite color is red. That's okay. You know? We have the right to have our own opinions and express our own opinions, and not to make anyone upset. That's just being self-aware of what we like or what we dislike. You know? You may like ice cream. Someone else may like yogurt. Someone may like neither one of them, but it's okay. So never be afraid to express your opinion. Don't be afraid to talk, to share your thoughts, to share what's going on with you. Share with someone you can trust. Share with someone you know has your best interest in mind. Share your thoughts and your feelings with someone that you know that cares for you and they don't want any harm to come to you. So, okay, let's recap again about self-awareness. We talked about being self-aware means to pay attention to what? That's right. Pay attention to you. Pay attention to what's going on with you. Pay attention to your emotions. Pay attention to your behavior. Pay attention to your feelings, your thoughts. And what do we say about your emotions? Should you suppress your emotions? Did Gene suppress his emotions? Absolutely not. Don't suppress your emotions. Share them. Express them. Embrace them. And when you're feeling sad, when you're feeling mad or angry, talk with someone. Allow someone to help you work through those emotions, even fear. Allow someone to help you work through those emotions or things that you are afraid of. And when it comes to fear, it may take time to overcome those things. So don't be upset with yourself if you still find that you're struggling with that. But keep talking to someone. Keep expressing it. Don't suppress it. Don't try to keep it all in. So emotions was one. Behavior was the second one. Yes. How you behave, how you interact, what you're doing when you are in school, when you are in stores, at grocery stores. You know, have you been in a grocery store and you see a kid and they're screaming and they're hollering and they're just making a bunch of noise because they can't have a cookie? I'm sure none of you behave that way in the grocery store, but I'm sure you've seen it. Now, do you think that child is being self-aware of their behavior in the grocery store? I don't think so. Because if they were being self-aware of their behavior, they wouldn't be behaving that way. They may be upset because they can't have a cookie, but they won't be, kicking and screaming and making a bunch of noise and hitting their mom in the back because they can't have a cookie. That is not very good behavior. So be aware of your behavior, how you're acting. Even if you have an emotion, talk to someone. Be aware of what you're thinking. Your thoughts can influence your behavior. Your thoughts can influence how you treat other people. Your thoughts can influence how you see yourself. I encourage you to see yourself as a dynamic individual. See yourself as awesome, just like my son does. I laugh every time he says it, but I like his positivity. I like that he enjoys who he is, and he knows he's not, the best at everything, but he's not trying to be the best at everything. He's trying to be the best at being who he is. So I encourage you to be the best person that you can be. Be the best at who you are, and be the best at the things that you can do. So think positive of yourself. Say good things about yourself. When you get up in the morning, tell yourself, this is going to be a good day. I'm going to have fun today. I'm going to love myself today, and we're going to do great things. Get excited about yourself. Get excited about who you are. I enjoyed talking with you this afternoon. And I know I shared quite a few things, but I hope that you would take something away for what I shared with you today. You are very, very special. You are dynamic. Yes, you are. You are wonderful, and I'm so glad that you are here. I'm so glad that you are watching today. I'm so glad that I had an opportunity to talk with you and encourage you to be self-aware. Now, if you have any questions, I'm sure that you have someone there, your teacher, that you can ask. But don't forget anything that I said. Don't forget to make that list of now my voice is getting a little hoarse here. Do you mind if I take a sip of water, please? See, that's better. I was aware of my voice changing. Did you pick that up? Oh my goodness. Thankfully I have some water here. Being self-aware, we all have to practice it. But don't forget to make that list. 5 things that you are good at. Share them with someone. 5 things. You can make that list right now, but I want to encourage you to do that. And be proud of what you're good at. Be proud of what it is that you can do. Thank you. Hopefully I get an opportunity to talk to you again soon.